Hi everyone, it's Warren here from Overexposed 360. Today a little package arrived and I've been so excited. I've never been so excited to receive something from Nikon before. So today we're going to do the unboxing and give you some of my thoughts on the Nikon Keymission 360. So I've been a Canon user all my life. I've got 7 or 8 SLR bodies which are all Canon, starting from the first digital SLR that came out, the 300D. Up to the 5D Mark III now. So it's actually quite a shock for me to receive something from Nikon, and also it's quite a shock for me to be so excited to get something from Nikon. So I hope it doesn't disappoint. I've been waiting for a long time for Canon or Nikon to show their hands to see what they can do with the 360 market. This is kind of the first big release from them. Nikon have done it first with the Keymission 360. Canon hasn't really come up with anything yet, but hopefully they'll fill in the space. So I've been really happy with the Samsung, with the 360 Fly, and of course there's a Ricoh Theta that's been filling the market. But I'm really excited to see what Nikon and Canon can do. So I'm hoping my first real products from Nikon doesn't disappoint, and I'm hoping that this is something that we can see it progress. And in the coming years, I'm sure that all the manufacturers, the Samsung, the 360 Fly, the Sonys, the Ricoh, will definitely release their own 360 cameras, and the resolution will go up and up. As I previously discussed before, I don't think 4K is enough for 360, but 4K is quite a bit to manage for all my computers already. So it will be interesting to see where the specs go. But that's enough said. Let's check this out. Let's do the unboxing. Let's see what's inside the box. Okay, let's crack it open. SnapBridge 360 170 app to download. One thing that's good about this is fully compatible with Android and iOS. So the issues that we had with the Samsung Gear 360 is kind of being a proprietary system, it's kind of gone. Okay, okay. I am up to date. Thank you for choosing Keymission 360 to record your mission. Please be aware there's an update to the instruction menu, so download it. Okay. Alright, there's a lot of instruction menu, and as I always say in my unboxing, reading them is cheating, so I'm going to put them away. I might look at them later, but for now, oh, interesting. I'll come back to that. So let's put that to the side. Let's see what else is there. Oh, fascinating. What? It actually comes with its little cardboard VR goggles. So, wow, that's pretty cool. Because as I always say with 360 videos and photos, it's one thing to look at them on screen, on the computer, on the phone. It's another thing to actually see it in a VR goggles scenario. Sure, this isn't a, it's not a Gear VR, it's not a PSVR, it's not a Vive, it's not a full VR experience. But just a cardboard VR goggles actually goes a long way in getting you immersed in the 360 photos and videos. And it's good that Nikon actually include one for you to put your phone in when you're reviewing your photos. So kudos to Nikon for that. So let's check out the proper stuff in here. I didn't pay for that. Well, I did pay for that, but I didn't buy it for that. Let's check it out. Okay, alright, here's a Nikon silicone case. So okay, so it just provides some grip around the corner, so if you drop it, it'll kind of bounce off a little bit, but it doesn't really provide that much protection. The lens is on both sides, so it's really just, maybe it's better grip. I'll put it on after to see. But it's really, yeah, just on the edges it'll bounce off, but it will still damage camera, so it's not really a full-fledged protection coating case. There's a battery. Let's see what size the battery is. Let's get that out. 3.7 volt, 1050 milliamps. So that's not a bad size, but there's a tiny little battery. And we'll get all the boring out first, and I'll pull the camera out at the end. There's a USB cable for charging. There's the charger, so there's a, okay, where's the charger? Okay, here's the battery charger, a charging unit or USB, so you can, for the charger itself. Okay, here is a lens protector. Okay, I get it. So I wonder if it actually affects the actual shot itself. So it's a little, let's open one up, let's have a look. So, oh wow, that is actually quite good. I wish that the Samsung G360 have something like this. So it's actually got a glass lens on the outside. I assume you screw onto the front of it. I mean, obviously the angles is still going to be fine to actually see out of this lens. That's great to include two, one on each side. I'm definitely going to put this on. I'm always in constant fear of dropping my cameras and scratching the lens and then never been able to replace it. So that's brilliant that they included that, and it's not and added on accessories after the fact. Okay, so here's some. Okay, so here's just a tripod grip, and then that's kind of a standard type action camera grip that you stick to the car. And then it's got a quick release plate on there, and then so this just mounts onto the camera with the standard tripod thread, I assume. We'll check that out as well. So the camera's here, I'll crack that open. That's pretty much everything that's in the box. So let's move the box to the side. Let's close the box. Alright. And let's check out the camera. So, okay, so it's got a nice weight to it. It's not too light. It's pretty light, but it's not too light. So it's got a nice weight to it. So the camera on both sides is bulging out. I don't know how well you can see this. I might get a better photos of them. So they are bulging out, which is as you expect. So it's almost the same thickness. It's pretty much around the same as a G360 in terms of where the camera sits. The G360 might be slightly thicker, and the lens is slightly further apart, but you know, obviously it's got a square shape, but it could be easily be that shape and fit everything around it. So okay, that's interesting. So that's where the G360 and the Keymission 360 looks. There's an on button up here. There's the battery that goes in. I'm really interested in in how this actually fit on. So. But maybe I'll need to read the instruction for this, because it obviously doesn't just go on top of it. May have actually unscrew it out before that can be. Yeah, that's okay. Oh, interesting. So this is just a lens cover, and then the lens is inside. Wow, that is sensational. So which means this is easily replaceable. This is just a lens protection, whereas the Samsung G360, this can come out too. So let me do it quickly. I'll just show you. So the outer ring comes out, so you can see that coming out, and you can actually get that out, but it's not easy. That's actually glued tight for the steel, and also you can't actually buy the parts for that. But obviously the Nikon designers have thought through it a little bit more, either just to be more friendly to the users, because this is a pain if you do crack that lens, because there's no suppliers for parts yet. I'm hearing a lot of people having problem getting replacement parts, or Samsung helping them with fixing that. So some people are actually just buying a second-hand one, or if someone broke it, then they get a spare lens to replace it. But that is at premium at the moment. It's very hard to replace, so if a crack goes in, that is a pain. What Nikon have gone for is where the protection of the lens is completely replaceable. So you can take it off, switches. This is actually what they call the underwater, what do they call it? Let's have a quick look. That's the underwater lens protector. So that's to, just in case you bump the rocks and whatnot. I don't see why it's different for underwater and for land. Why you can't use this one for land, assuming that you still get the same angle of view from the camera out of it. But the fact that this is easily replaceable, and the lens is inside, that is basically, this is just protecting the lens itself. This is brilliant, because if something breaks, if this fall down, crack that lens protector, all you have to do, take it out, buy a new one, and I think they are like $30-40 for a pair, I assume. But I think I've seen them for $30-40 in the catalogs, and you simply just replace it and just put it back in, and you're sweet to go. Lock it in, and you're sweet to go. That's great design by Nikon. I love that. Even before using it, I loved that, because for the life of me, for both the Fly 360 and the Key 360, the biggest fear that I have is cracking the lens. And there's so many times that I'll come so close to it, because especially with 360 videos, you're trying to avoid tripods, you're trying to avoid getting things in view, so you end up getting selfie sticks which are long, tall, skinny, and once you put a camera on top, the center of gravity is quite high, it tips very easily. Even though I put weights at the bottom and weight it down, it still tips pretty easily depending on how high you mount your camera. So the fact that Nikon have thought about it and have a system where you can replace this cover pretty easily, that is sensational. I'm already impressed with Nikon, and I can't believe I'm saying all these good things about Nikon. So let's see what else we can find out about it. So there's what does it say here? You got a HDMI connection. It's got a card, battery. It's got a lock button, and then it's got a, I think that's just to open it. Hopefully, oh, so that locked. Oh, okay, so that locks it in once it's open. So in here, that's where the battery goes. There's a USB port there. There is, oh, there's a on-off airport. There's an airplane there, so there must be airplane mode to switch off on the Wi-Fi. The Bluetooth connectivity on it. So that's, I might read the instruction on that. Don't quote me, but I'll correct myself on the video if I'm wrong. There's a HDMI connection, so you can plug it straight to the TV and display your videos and photos. There's an on-off for the airport mode, I assume. Batteries goes in there, USB to copy files off if you need, or take the card out, and the SD card slot is in here as well. So it's almost like a double lock system, so you lock the, let's see if I can get this right. So let's put it back in, you lock that side, and there's another lock. So once the second lock is engaged, you can't unlock the little cover here, so you have to unlock it first before you can unlock it. So that's quite a good system. It just makes sure that everything's watertight. It is waterproof for 30 meters or 100 feet, so that's another thing that's great about this camera. It's quite rugged, it's waterproof, and the best thing I still think is that lens protector. On the other side, there's the on button here. It's just got NFC, 4K, Bluetooth, Wi-Fi logo there. Down the bottom here, there's a tripod mount. And okay, let's just try the tripod mount on the Key 360, which is just a standard size. It looks like a standard size tripod mount. Let's put it on. I'm having more problem than I should be. Okay, there we go. Yep, it's just a standard size tripod mount. That looks pretty good to me. Okay, so have a quick look at the grips and the quick release grips that it comes with. Okay, so that's just flat grip or curved grip, I'm not sure. So it's similar to the system that GoPro has. It can switch out, so I wonder if it's the same size. My GoPro's actually up there recording, but I'll try that out and let you know. So this is great for when you're on the go and you just want to release the, if I can do it properly. So that's a quick release grip, so it kind of grips on, grips off very quickly. It's got kind of a little mini tripod here, which is quite handy. It's actually quite cool, so you can, if I can actually get it to work, you can kind of spin it around, rotate that way, and assume the ball head can be rotated all the way around. So it's not the highest quality tripod head, but again it does its trick. So once it's locked in, then everything locks in and is locked in quite tight. Now let's see how the silicone case actually go on it. So it's got a little Nikon logo up the front here, looking pretty cool. I assume that means that it's a top. Oops, I probably should have done that. Okay, let's see. How do you actually put this in? Yeah, I don't know. It actually probably doesn't matter which way it goes. It looks like it's a correct shape no matter which side it is. Yep, let me just fit all the corners. Okay, so does it actually protect it much? I don't know. I mean, I'm sure if you drop it and it, yeah, I mean the edges are quite thick, so it does leave it off the ground, so if you're kind of putting down on things, you're not worried about scratching it. But my biggest concern is falling it this way and then scratching the lens. But as I said before, the best thing about this lens protector comes straight off. I'm just worried about the dust inside now. So as much as I love the lens protector concept, I'm worried about having dust inside there and in the actual lens area. But in fact, I left a few finger marks on there, so I'm a little bit anal about things like that. But okay, let me put the battery in and let's boot it up and see what it does. Okay, let's open it. I don't know if the battery got in charge on it, but usually they do have a little bit. Okay, so that goes in here, straight in, lock it back up, lock it back up. Alright, let's go on. Wow, pretty quick startup. Okay, I don't know what I'm doing here. I'm sure I can press a button and record. One thing I do notice that it doesn't have is it doesn't have a screen on the camera at all. So there might be ways to tell what mode it is based on the lights. There's flashing 2 green lights now, so I assume it's trying to look for a phone for connection. But it may be harder to operate without your mobile device or your app to connect to it. There's a record button on it, so you can actually record straight from the camera. It's just more working out which mode the camera is in. I'm not sure whether you can actually work that out without using a phone or the mobile app itself. It doesn't look like there's any on screen, well, there's no screen, there's on camera prompt to what stages is in, unless different colors might mean different things. I will read the manual and I will find out. But so far I'm pretty impressed with the unit. So what I'll quickly show you is just a comparison in size between the Nikon Keymission 360, which is right here, the Samsung G 360, which is right here. We'll move that away so we can actually see what's going on. And here's the 360 Fly 4K. So the 360 Fly 4K and the Samsung G 360 are similar in size and shape. If you've seen my previous videos before, I really love the design of the 360 Fly. I love the design of the G 360. I wasn't overly excited about the shape of this, but after knowing and using the 360 Fly and the Samsung G 360 for a while, it's great, but it kind of rolls around a little bit, and also sometimes it's when you're putting things on tripod and things like that, it feels like a knob, which is easy to get on, but I do find that I mishandle it a little bit sometimes. So it'll be interesting to see how a square shape would make a difference, whether it makes things easier, make it less likely to tip over, but I don't know, it's still a bit tippy for me. But then still, again, I'm going to say this again, highlight for me, replaceable lens cover, which both the Samsung G 360 and the 360 Fly doesn't offer. So any scratches on here, you're in a lot of hurt. So I'm still excited about that. So I haven't seen the video quality. Let's try it out. I'm going to put an SD card in it. I'm going to go outside and take a few shots. I'm going to take a few compare shots between the three, and I can post them up and we can do a comparison. Then I've got to install the app on my phone and away we go. So I'll be right back and we'll start checking it out in a little bit more detail. Let's have a quick look at the mobile app that you need to control the Keymission 360 via your mobile phone. Is SnapBridge 360 170, which is basically used for both the Keymission 360 and the Keymission 170 Nikon cameras, and it is available for both iOS and Android phones. Once the app is opened up, you'll see that it's divided in 4 main sections, which are Connect, Gallery, Camera, and Other. The Connect tab simply shows whether you're connected to your Keymission 360 or Keymission 170 camera, and it's got some small settings here where you set your auto download of your photos to your phone, whether you auto upload the location of your photos, and also whether you synchronize your clock to your camera. The second tab, which is Gallery, which just shows you the photos which are on your device or your latest download photos, so you can have a quick browse at the 360 image and scroll through them. The third tab, which is Camera, and is probably the most important tab for the app and the camera itself. This is where you can do your remote photography and videos.
and it's also where you choose what photos to download to your phones. It's got a few camera settings and your remote option as well. And the final tab is just other miscellaneous items, which relates to the camera and Nikon itself. It's got a tutorial link and also info settings, which kind of overlap with some of the other settings that you've seen before in the other tabs. So let's go back to the camera tab and click on the remote photography option so we can go to live view. It actually takes a little while to connect to the live view, and it requires it to establish a Wi-Fi connection, which it doesn't do initially, as it just relies on Bluetooth for the connection initially. So as you can see, it's still going and going and going. It's taking its time. Finally it's connected and you're in the remote or the live view. The resolution on live view is actually quite low. You don't actually get a really nice clear image of the live view. So I just click on the settings button at the bottom and you see there's some shooting options. Within shooting options you can choose a few of the standard options that you'll see with your live view, so your exposure compensation, your white balance, etc. So I actually find that quite odd. I much prefer having all the settings kind of within, and it also allows you to change standard for camera apps on phones, and yeah, it's just really odd it's not here. And here I just clicked on recording a movie, and as you can see the live view actually disappears when you're recording a movie. So once you start recording a movie, you actually can't see what's happening within this live view, which is a bit annoying as well, because you kind of want to be able to see what's happening, what's recording, while you're out of sight, and you can't do that. And the other thing I've noticed is that even for taking photos, it takes a little bit of time before it comes back for you to allow you to take the next photo, and it definitely takes longer than what the Key 360 does. So which is kind of another annoying thing. It takes you kind of want to be able to take more shots quicker, and it's not allowing you to do so. One reason why there may be a bit of a delay in the response time with photos is that the stitching is done in camera itself, so you don't actually get the unstitched files from the camera. Everything is already stitched. There's no pre-stitched file that you can get access to, which is probably a pro or a con depending how you look at it. I actually quite like having a pre-stitched file, which allows me to do some editing before it's being stitched, but I can also understand why not having a pre-stitched file may be easier for most users, but personally I prefer to have the pre-stitched file. And here I just got a test shot from the Nikon Keymission 360, and I did the same shot from the Samsung Gear 360. I mean, in general, the picture overall looks okay, but if you look at 100% crop, you can clearly see that the Gear 360 is a lot sharper. But this is straight up from the camera. I haven't done it in Photoshop or post-editing work, but it doesn't look like I can really get the clarity back from the Nikon as the sharpness that I'm getting from the Samsung Gear 360. But I'm going to do a lot more testing on this, and I will post up the result in probably the next video.
So there it is. I'm really trying to love the Nikon Keymission 360. I'm still extremely excited and impressed by the lens protector that Nikon have built into the camera. But as you can see with the Live View app, it's not the best app out there, and I think Nikon has a long way to go to make that app to be something that a photographer would use. A lot of the options is just not in the right place. It's not where you want it. You don't get it quickly. And also I've experienced a few crashes already, so hopefully it's an app that will be a constant improvement over time, and the UI definitely need some seriously work there. Regarding image quality, I'm going to do some more testing. I've only done a few quick shots here and there. It looks like the quality is kind of in between the Samsung Gear 360 and the 360 Fly. It lacks a certain clarity that I expect from Nikon. Having a high resolution camera on both sides than the Samsung, I thought this would outperform the Samsung Gear 360. But I'll test a bit more. I'll do some post-editing work on it and see what we can do with it. Overall, the camera itself is quite good. As I said, I definitely need to do a bit more testing and play with it in order to get the most of it. And I'm really keen to try it out. So come back for our next review, or more detailed review if this is not detailed enough. I've babbled on a lot more than I expected for a unboxing video with some first impressions. So hopefully you have survived through my video, and if you like what you're seeing, please subscribe and comment, and let us know what you want to see more of. More of the Nikon Keymission 360, Gear 360, or any other cameras, or the PSVR, which we've been doing a relatively big coverage of it right now as well. So hopefully I'll see you guys in the next video. It's Warren from Overexposed 360. I'll catch you in the next video.